I don't think that you have to be an in-shape dad to be a good dad. I think that there's tons of dads out there that just, quite frankly, they don't have the bandwidth, they don't have time to, or they don't make the time to take care of themselves. I don't think that makes you a bad father. I do think that you might be leaving a little bit on the table if you're not in shape from an energy perspective, because people who, quite frankly, who just are in better shape just have better energy. But yeah, I think that there's also like that protector in you that when, there might be somebody that's eyeing, got eyes on your kid, or got eyes on your wife, or wants to attack your family, and they're making a decision. Can I get away with this? Right. And if they see some frumpy guy that, can push some pencils and that's about it, that target might be way more robust and it might be like way more tempting versus the guy who obviously looks like he probably takes pretty good care of himself. Gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to the Dad Edge Podcast. I'm Larry Hagner, your host and founder. Today we are talking about the man in the mirror. You're breathing really loud.
Sorry.
Yeah. The man I'm becoming, I'm working myself out just to become that man. There's a lot of heavy breathing over there.
I'm not even trying.
I know. I think the dog is he's like over there. Like, I don't know if he's kind of influencing you or what's going on, but
I don't know.
Yeah, well, here's what we're going to talk about, though. The man in the mirror, the man that you're becoming, your identity, so who you are, your confidence, right, and the journey of becoming who you are, like getting to know who Ethan is, and you and I will bat this back and forth because I think this is one of the hardest questions as basically a human being to answer is who am I?
Yeah.
What do I stand for? So we're gonna explore that today. So, and by the way, am I sounding any clearer on this microphone?
I mean, you sound pretty clear to me.
Okay, because this is a bougie microphone.
That's pretty awesome.
This one was really expensive.
Doesn't sound like with the other microphone. Hey, you muted me.
I didn't mute you. I just turned you down because it was crazy loud in my ear.
Oh, I can't hear myself that much on my headphones.
Okay, there you go. How's that?
That's better.
Okay, good. There you go. Yeah.
Well, the mic just doesn't sound so. I don't know. I guess loud. Oh, like.
Does it sound clear?
It sounds pretty clear.
Good. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. All right. Well, I guess it's money well spent then. First of all, before we get started today, we got a couple things we want to talk to you guys about. First form related. Last week we had, or was that? No, that was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. We did a first form dad of the month.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Ty Trisler.
That's right.
Won that. Yeah, just incredible human being. One of my one-on-one clients now is a part of one of my groups as well. And I'll tell you, the guy has spent the last 20 plus years in a wheelchair, and he's still managed to do 75 hard.
That's crazy.
But yeah, his regimen, man, the reds and the greens, loves the beef sticks. He takes Formula One. He also takes Ignition, and he takes Microfactor. Those are like his go-to. A couple of things. So guys, I've talked about this a lot, but Microfactor, if you're not taking Microfactor and you're a man, you need to be taking Microfactor. So Microfactor it's got antioxidants in it. So it's great just for overall health. It's going to help you eradicate those free radicals, anything that could be cancer causing. It's just going to keep you healthier. Obviously, it's not something you take that directly prevents cancer. We can't obviously say that, but it's got antioxidants in there, which will help you fight the free radicals that cause disease, that cause cancer. It also has essential fatty acids in there. That's great for brain health. That's good for joint health. It also has coenzyme Q10 in it. So for all my dudes out there, like, especially if you're, if your cholesterol is genetically high, like mine is, you need something just a little bit extra to keep that heart healthy, keep it pumping clean. It also has servings of fruits and vegetables in it. It's got probiotics and it's got a multivitamin. If you were, the price for Microfactor is about $70 a month. But if you were to buy everything that's in here, individually, you'd spend well over $150. So this thing is great. Not to mention the fact, I'm going to open this up so you guys can see it here on camera, but it comes in these really cool packets. So I don't have to like measure out any powder. I don't have to like open up, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 8 different capsules in here. I don't have to open up 8 containers for 8 different things. It's all in one packet, super easy. But it literally, this is the insurance. I call it microfactor the insurance policy. My micronutrients are really, really, really important. And if you're not getting your essential vitamins and minerals, your antioxidants, your coenzyme Q10, your fruits and veggies, your essential fatty acids, man, you're missing the mark on essential nutrients. So go check them out. I'll have a link in the show notes for you for the microfactor. But if you spend over $100, so it was $75, but if you spend over $100 now, it's free shipping. Any orders over, I think it's $250 now gets an order. You get a 4-pack of energy drinks. That might be one of the things that they put in the mail for you. And or if you spend over $300, they're going to give you a T-shirt in the mail. So that's our shout out for First Forum. Yeah. Sweet. Sweet, as you would say.
Yes.
Yeah, sweet. Sweet. All right, you got your volume turned up. All right, so, all right, so Ethan, question for you, okay?
Uh-huh.
Who are you?
I am me. Um, I don't know. That's a very broad question.
Yeah, it is. So, who are you?
Your son?
Yeah. No, I didn't ask whose son you are. I asked who are you? Who is Ethan? And by the way, for all you guys in the audience, I'm totally doing an anger management skit right now. So
Anger?
well, yeah, anger, just go along. It's okay. The audience knows what I'm doing, but you don't. But
Okay.
so who are you?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. You gotta be a little more specific with.
Oh no, I don't. I'm just who are you?
I'm just a man who's trying to figure out life right now.
Well, I didn't ask what you're trying to figure out. I asked who you were.
I don't know how to answer that question, honestly.
Right? It's hard.
It is hard to answer something like that.
So there's this classic movie. Have you seen Anger Management with Adam Sandler?
No.
Okay, well you got to see it. Jack Nicholson is in that movie. Jack Nicholson. You know who Jack Nicholson is? Okay,
I'm better with faces.
he's the original Batman, the Joker, like this. Yeah, like back in the '80s. That Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
He's been in tons of movies. You've seen him. Probably one of the most iconic actors.
It sounds familiar.
Well, you would totally know him if you saw him. But so anyway, there's this part in Anger Management. So the whole movie is about how Adam Sandler like loses his mind and gets really pissed off, and then has to goes to court, gets arrested, goes to court, and they basically tell him, okay, well, you need to go to anger management classes. And so Jack Nicholson is his therapist.
Oh gosh.
And the first thing that starts is this group setting where she's like, so who are you? And he's like telling him what he does for a living, and he's telling him who's his dad. He's like, I didn't say whose son you are, and I didn't say what you do for, who are you? And then he kept asking over and over. Finally, Adam Sandler is like, I still know what you want me to say. Like, he gets really pissed. And he's like, well, now I know why you're here. Like, so, but it goes back to, it's one of the hardest questions to answer.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, when you said that, I was like, I don't know. That's like a very, like I said, broad question, not very specific. I don't know how to really answer something like that.
Let me help you with something. Whenever someone asks like who I am, like there's tons of things that race through my mind, but at the core of who I am, I'm a beloved son of God. How about that?
But that's a pretty good one.
You are also a beloved son of God, right?
Yeah.
That is who you are. I think also a who is like maybe, what are some of the values that you stand for?
I am an empathetic person.
Okay, so this is part of like an identifying trait that you have, or maybe even a gift that you have. When you talk to people, when you converse with people, I would agree you have a skill set of being a very empathetic person. It comes to you very naturally, right? But it still isn't who you are. It's actually something that it's a skill that you can lean into, and I think it comes to you naturally, right?
Yeah.
Do you value honesty?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay. Do you value integrity?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Do you value things like, so like for instance, do you consider yourself, I am a man of my word. I do what I say, and I say what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, sure. I mean, I slip up and make mistakes whenever I make a promise or something, but I still try to be as honest as I can be, and I try to hold my end of the deal.
it's good.
So,
It's good. It's very schmood.
fish mud.
Yeah. Okay. So, these are things that you can lean into when you say, who am I? I am someone who values honesty. I am a honest person. I am someone who stands by his word. So if I say I'm going to do something, I am going to do it, right? Um, that's also a way for us to lean into confidence. So our confidence is also linked to the things that we value. So, like for instance, how confident are you in your faith that there is a God?
I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, like there's a God, and how confident are you that He loves you?
Very confident.
Very confident.
Yeah.
And are you confident that He put you here for a reason?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I can't imagine we're here for nothing.
I can't either. So think about this as well. Do you think about like you're a first responder? Let's fast forward the tape 2 years from now. You're a first responder. Are you someone who hesitates in danger, or are you the one who goes right in and starts helping someone right away?
I tend to hesitate quite a bit with
Do you?
even just with a lot of stuff. I've even grown up like with a lot of hesitation.
Well, they'll train the hell out of you.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah, you
know.
will not hesitate. Well,
No.
like when I got hurt, let me ask you a quick question. When I got hurt, were you were you like, "Oh my God, what do I do?"
Yeah, I had no knowledge of what happened. I didn't even know what like I knew it was a knee injury. I didn't know it was your patella tendon. I didn't know if it was an ACL. I actually thought it was your ACL
I did too.
or your MCL.
That that makes two of us that thought it was that. But um I noticed when I got hurt, I was kind of wondering like what is Ethan going to do? Like is he going to sort of step into like this first responder role, sort of like, or is this going to like freak him out? I think it freaked you out a little bit.
It freaked me out, but I was also like, I was more just like, what am I supposed to do right now? How am I supposed to help? I have no knowledge of how to do this.
My old man is down. I should kick him.
Yeah, take that.
Take
Kick.
that shot to the head, old man.
Yeah, as you were on the floor, like, this pain hurts. This pain, I'm gonna throw up.
I'll tell you though, there is when you're younger and you see your parents of all people like get hurt, or like maybe like a grown person like who's an authority figure like that. Yeah, you kind of don't know what to do. Like I remember being your age, and my grandfather fell in front of me,
Oh,
and he just sort of like my grandfather had bad knees, and he was in a lot of chronic pain. And I'll never forget being in his bedroom, and I heard this thud, and I look over, and he just kind of like fell on his butt, like he fell down. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, are you okay? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm fine. And he like kind of like sort of helped himself up, but it was really like I think he was embarrassed. But like I didn't know what to do. Like I was sitting there thinking, I was like, if this was like my buddy, I'd probably just go over and help him up. But I was like, this kind of like an old man. Like, what if I help him up and like I don't do it right and I hurt him worse, or something like that. Like so I kind of froze. So did that happen to you when I got hurt?
I mean, I'd say right after you got hurt playing tug of war. By the way, can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you fine. It's
Okay.
actually very loud on my end. That's why I
Really?
turned you down just a bit.
Okay, I was making sure because for some weird reason, my headphones aren't really picking up my voice.
Mm.
But anyways, um, I was like very like, oh, I don't, what just happened? This is not good. We might have to take a trip to the hospital. This could be bad. At first, for like the first like, I don't know, like 5, 10 seconds, I was like, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll just get up and walk it off, like, because I didn't think it was that bad. But you were still on the ground after like, uh, for you were on the ground for quite a bit, and a
I
lot of
couldn't get up.
yeah, and a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, what do we do? And then you like they had to like cut your pants just to see what was going on, just to even see if there was like any like bleeding or like a, if there was like a broken bone or something.
Those are my Under Armour pants, by the way. They're totally gone.
I know.
Yeah, not good.
And then but I was like, I'm not sure what to do. The only thing I really helped you with was when you fell in the bathroom trying to
Oh my God.
take a whiz.
That was not a whiz.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was me. That was like super. So I remember when I got hurt. It was in the early in the morning. And I was like, I really got to go number two. Like, and I did, and I just like that was really interesting. And then I tried to get up off the toilet, and then I fell again. That's how embarrassing that was. That was awesome.
I'm shocked you even had your pants up at that point.
I pulled them up as best I could before y'all got in there.
Really?
Yeah, because I figured I had scarred you enough by seeing me hurt
Well, it's not like
already.
I won't be. I mean, I'm gonna see something like that
Oh,
eventually.
I know, I'm just messing with you, but
I know.
I mean, going back to, you're gonna go into I think an environment for sure. You're gonna go into a job that is really, really hard, and there might be a part of you that identifies that when the building's on fire, I run in, I don't run out. Or when somebody needs my help, I don't hesitate. I just go in and I start helping. Right? I mean, so like I think as you get older, one of the things you might identify with is, I am calm in chaos. I
Okay.
am I am someone who doesn't hesitate when I know that they need help. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what wrestling taught me.
Yeah.
So I already have a pretty good idea of what calm and chaos looks like.
You've had a lot of reps with calm and chaos when it comes to wrestling. That's one of the really cool things I think about wrestling is that you have to make decisions. Your environment and everything that's going on is completely and totally uncertain.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to learn how to make decisions quickly and make calm decisions under chaos.
Yeah,
For
because
sure.
it's a very stressful situation.
It really is.
Basically, it activates your fight or flight system
It is.
when you're wrestling because you're literally fighting to try not to get pinned or to even lose that match.
And the last thing you want to do is make emotional decisions,
Yeah,
to where it's going to mess you up and it's going to put you in a situation where you could be beat.
yeah,
Right. Yeah. Um, okay. So we've kind of leaned into values, for confidence, things that we anchor in. We've also leaned into like, this is how I operate in the workplace, but I do think it becomes part of who you are. Like if I think of like some of the guys I've had on this podcast or friends of mine who are in special operations, like guys who are special ops and how they like literally part of who they become happens within that training. So like even the guys who are special operators, like I know you give them a crazy situation, they're going to anchor into calm.
yeah.
It's like part of who they are now. There's
Well, didn't um,
don't say his name.
I'm not gonna say his name.
Okay.
Didn't your one of your brothers um
I thought you were going to talk about one of the special op guys.
no, no. Am I allowed to say one of your brother's names?
Yeah, one of my brother's names, not any of the special ops guys.
No, I don't even know some of their names. I don't even know their names. I don't know. But
You know one of them, but
I do.
yeah.
I don't think I know who it is just yet. But anyways, um, your half brother Clay. I remember when I think it was one of us, either me and Mason, maybe Lawson, choking, and we were all hanging out as a family. And he's like, "I got this. Don't worry. It's not that big of a deal." And then he was able to help whoever was choking.
Yeah, he just kind of moseyed on up like it was nothing.
That's actually I've learned that whenever I went and visited the fire station around here, uh, one of them was like, "Yeah, whenever you learn how to like deal with all this crazy stuff, whenever something crazy happens in your family, you don't think it's that crazy. Like if one of your kids broke an arm and they're like freaking out, you're just like, stop freaking out, you'll be fine."
That's true. Don't cry. I'll give you something to cry about. That was always my favorite
Yeah.
growing up. But yeah, I mean, I think one of the cool things about this is that you were absolutely going to learn some skills and it's going to be anchoring into who you are. What about let's fast forward a little bit here. Most of the time when people say like so when you first meet somebody, like what's one of the first questions you ask them?
Hi, it's nice to meet you. What's your name?
What's your name? What do you do, right?
Yeah.
So we always ask people what they do. We don't ever ask people who they are.
Well, I think for my like age, it's more like where do you go to school?
Yeah, where do you go to school? When you get to be my age, it's what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
So, um, what about this? When you know you become so when people ask you about you as you get older, you're probably going to say, "I'm a firefighter." You're probably, as you get older and you get married, you're going to be like, "I'm married. I'm a dad." And you'll answer all of these questions in a way that they are things that you identify with and they're things that you do, but quite frankly, they may or may not be who you are, right, as a person. And it's really, really important for you to know those things of who you are, right? So, I'll give you an example of this. I think the older you get, like I'm 50, so like I have a really, really good idea of who I am,
Yeah.
but I've also had 30 years ahead of you on this.
Yeah.
So like there are things that I know that I would stand for and things that I wouldn't. So like for instance, I think when you're your age, you kind of like you're more accepting of just about I wouldn't say everything, but a lot,
Hmm.
right? And you kind of will bring anybody sort of into your world and it's like not that big of a deal. And I think the older you get, you're much more cautious about who you bring into your world because of who you are. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
for instance, like you'll find I remember being your age and I didn't care if a girl that I was dating was a Christian or not. I just cared if she looked really hot.
Wow.
That was about it. And if she was kind of cool to hang out with.
Yeah.
That was about it. Now it's like if a girl doesn't have faith in her life and I was single, I probably wouldn't even waste my time with a cup of coffee. Like
Yeah.
I just wouldn't. It's just one of my standards. It's who I am is a my faith is very important to me. It's part of who I am. It's part of my identity. Therefore, I won't date somebody if I was single that wasn't.
Yeah.
So, that's something that we would call like something that's like non-negotiable, part of
Yeah.
our identity, right? So as you look at your identity and maybe some of the things like so maybe for you the faith thing is or isn't a big deal. Maybe for you,
Oh, it is a
um,
big deal to me.
okay, we can talk about that. Maybe for you the fitness thing, like for a woman to, and we're talking about just dating right now, but I think that this is kind of a good filter to filter these things through.
Yeah.
You may or may not want to be with someone who doesn't take care of themselves, right?
Oh, yeah.
You might be like okay or not okay with dating someone who smokes weed every now and again,
Yeah.
right?
I wouldn't.
You might be okay with someone who may be okay or not with someone who drinks all the time. You might be okay or not with like someone who's like, yeah, I know you want to be exclusive, but I want to have an open relationship
Oh,
because I like being with a variety of people. I don't like being with just one person.
that's terrible.
So like things like this, I think you navigate through life, and I think you start to, at least for me, and this is maybe some guidance I can give you as you navigate this yourself. Does whatever this person does in their life or what they stand for, how do I feel about it? Like
Yeah.
what is my instincts tell me? How does it sit with me? And I really start to think about like, well, does this not sit well with, so like for instance, if I had a woman be like, well, I'm not a Christian, I don't believe in God, I would have a pretty visceral reaction to that and be like, that doesn't sit very well with me. And I know why now, right? But I didn't probably 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But like for you, is there something in there that we talked about and you were like, I know who I am and what's important to me, and it's even part of my identity that this is a deal breaker in a relationship for me, whatever
Oh,
that
yeah.
might be.
Pretty much what you listed
Okay.
is like things that I don't. I need someone who believes in God and actually takes their faith very seriously. Because like that stuff is like you can't joke around with that stuff. Um, oh, I also like I wouldn't want someone who pulls me away from God, like smoking weed, drinking constantly, partying. That's not me. I wouldn't want to be with someone who does do that because that's how is that going to benefit my life or my relationship with God? And the open relationship one is definitely a huge thing I am not looking for in a relationship. Like big, big, big no no. Um, but I'm really just looking for someone, and I pretty much have that someone is who's someone who believes in God, um, someone who takes pretty good care of their health. Like, um, we always go on walks. We try to go to the gym every once in a while. obviously she's in school right now, so it's kind of hard to do those. But when she comes back, we like to do things together, like outdoor things all the time. Um, she obviously does not believe in open relationships. Um, she is not the person who smokes weed or drinks, really. She doesn't like it. She said she would probably give it up for good. She's had it a few times because she's more of a college student. But even that, she was like, this is not me. I don't like this. And I'm that way too. I'm like, this is not me. I don't want to drink and party. It's not my thing. I don't want to get drunk. I don't want to deal with a hangover. So I think that's what I really look for in like when dating. And those things that I pretty much listed are like my beliefs. Like I don't believe that a relationship can be fun with drinking or weed, you know?
So, like, for you, maybe part of your identity is I'm a person who takes optimal care of my health. I don't put anything in it like tobacco,
Yeah.
nicotine, drugs, alcohol, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I am people that identify as someone who's like, let's just say, I want to optimize my health, right? So, like, you look at somebody like Frazier,
Mm.
right? Who's like, that's like literally part of his identity,
Yeah.
right?
Wait, it is?
Oh yeah, right. Who he is at the core of who he is, but you see these outputs. I think how someone lives their life is the internal resume of what they buy into and who they are,
Yeah.
right? So those are all really really good. As you become, I know I'm hitting the fast forward button a little bit here, but what would be most meaningful for your kids? Like, what would you ideally want them to identify like as like things that they value?
A believer of God.
Okay. So faith.
That's a big one.
Okay.
I want to teach my kids how to have a relationship with God and how to read scripture and understand it. Because when I was really young, and I'm not saying this is your fault, it was really just like everything we learned in church and through PSR in the Catholic religion. Like it was really not something like I could really comprehend. The stories didn't make any sense. Everything we were reading and learning about, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm having a hard time understanding this, but I still believed in God. Um, I I didn't want to be a non-believer. I did believe because we went to church often, and I knew that there was a God. I just didn't have a strong relationship up until like a couple of years ago. I'm finally starting to understand this stuff and really grow closer to God. My kids, I don't. I mean, I prefer if when they get older wouldn't smoke weed, but I understand it's probably going to be a lot more legal and like everywhere now. So I probably won't be able to stop them, but I definitely not prefer it for them because it's not gonna help benefit their life in any way. It's just temporary fun if they enjoy it. I also wouldn't want them to like be like crazy party animals that want to do stupid stuff and cause harm with themselves or with other people when they drink or even whenever they don't drink. Like, um,
Yeah, there's a lot of sober people out there that make really bad moves,
there
really
are
bad decisions.
jackass.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I feel like whenever I have kids and they get to the point where they get older and they don't want us, me and my future wife, whoever that is, uh, babysitting or parenting them like children, I feel like it'll definitely get really hard to kind of enforce those things. Like, I mean, I've heard your stereotypical like rebellious teenager doesn't really care about like a relationship with God. They want to do their own thing. They want to party. You know what I kind of mean by that?
Mhm.
Like they don't care about school. They just want to party and hang out with their friends and they yell at their parents. Like it's your stereotypical rebellious teenager. So I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that is true. I mean, like you don't need drugs and alcohol to make stupid decisions, and you want.
I've definitely made stupid decisions when
Well,
I,
they all have.
wait, I don't need to be high or drunk to realize I'm doing something stupid.
Yeah, we can all make pretty dumb decisions, but as it relates to becoming the man who you are, right? I think it really goes back to some of these big pillars that you were referring to, right? Like the things that you abide by, the things that you even want for other people, right? So I think also I am fully confident that you're going to raise kids that have these similar beliefs as you do. I think that the way that you're going to live your life will exemplify that. And I think that you're also the type of person that when you mess up, you have complete and total ownership. Like
Yeah.
you share with people, that you're sorry and why, and there's no blame game. There's no like, oh, it's his fault or her fault. I've known that. Like you own things the way they are, which is great. Just to give you a couple of different things to think about. If you are in the place right now where you don't know exactly who you are, and if that's concerning to you, you're in a really good place. Because if it's concerning, are you concerned that you might not know exactly who you are yet?
Well, I don't even know how to answer that question, so probably.
Okay. But I would say if you're concerned about who you're becoming, which I think you are, because
I
I
can
would
tell
say,
you one thing, I'm not gay, that's for sure.
right, we definitely know that. I've known you your whole life, and I do know that you like girls. There's no doubt in that.
Yes.
Yeah. But I will say this, you know, when it comes to, what am I trying to say here? When it comes to the things that I know you stand firm in, the things that we've talked about, those are the things that I know for a fact that those are important to you. And if you don't know exactly who you are yet, and if you're like, maybe even after this podcast, you're like, I'm a little concerned that I don't know exactly fully who I am yet. That's a really good sign that you care about the man that you're becoming. Because if you're not even concerned with who you are and who you're becoming, well, then it might not be that important to you. But at least if you're conscious and aware of like, I would really like to get a grasp on who Ethan Hagner really is and what does he stand for.
I can tell you one thing I am concerned about for who I want to become. I want to become someone who, like, is the protector in a family. Like, I've always tried to implement good health. Like, one of my motivation, one of the things I motivate myself with is if I have a family and I'm out of shape, how am I going to be a good protector? So, you know what I mean? So I always want to, like, even whenever I become a parent, I still want to be in really good shape. Maybe I won't look insanely vascular or insanely ripped, but at least I would love to know like how to defend me or my family. Um, what are you doing?
I'm looking at the redirect for this podcast episode so I can make sure I tell people know where they're going, but I'm listening to every word that you're saying. It reminds me of when that molester was being,
Yep, we've talked about
and
this in the podcast
we
before.
have the audience listening to this might not know exactly what you're talking about though. But why don't you go ahead and explain that to them of what this molester was? Oh my God, are we listening to Michael Jackson? How did that even jump? Oh my gosh, I somehow turned my music on. I have no idea. At least we know I like Michael Jackson. I don't know what happened. Out of
Anyways,
out of all the music too, like I really did not think Michael Jackson would be popping up.
oh my gosh.
But
All right, well,
that's pretty funny.
let me explain.
Please do.
So, there was, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, there was this guy who interviewed a child molester. He asked him, what is one of the components or what is something that you would do before you even think about taking a child and doing awful things to it? And he said, if the dad was out of shape, if the dad looked like if I could look like, if it looks like I can take the dad, like if they don't look very intimidating or they somehow, um, like they just don't intimidate me just by the way they talk to me, like then I'm gonna take them.
Yeah, he always sized up the dad
Yeah, like
first.
if they don't seem like a good protector, they'll it'll make their he's like, well, that kid is vulnerable. I'm gonna take him.
Which is all the more reason why you need Formula One protein powder to keep those muscles going. I think there's some truth to that. Like, I don't think that you have to be an in shape dad to be a good dad. I think that there's tons of dads out there that just, quite frankly, they don't have the bandwidth, they don't have time or they don't make the time to take care of themselves. I don't think that makes you a bad father. I do think that you might be leaving a little bit on the table if you're not in shape from an energy perspective, because people who, quite frankly, who just are in better shape just have better energy. But yeah, I think that there's also like that protector in you that when, there might be somebody that's eyeing, got eyes on your kid, or got eyes on your wife or wants to attack your family, and they're making a decision. Can I get away with this? Right. And if they see some frumpy guy that, can push some pencils and that's about it, that target might be way more robust and it might be like way more tempting versus the guy who obviously looks like he probably takes pretty good care of himself. I mean, I take really good care of myself, and like, I even find myself sizing up dudes. Like, not that I'm gonna go do something bad.
Yes,
I think that's part of like being a guy is like,
it's like
you kind of like,
competitive
sort of
instinct in our.
yeah, it's like kind of an instinct in a way. It's like if you see a guy, like when I see a guy in shape, I automatically assume I'm like, that guy could probably take care of some business,
Yeah.
and I probably don't want to piss that guy off, right?
Yeah.
If I see a guy who's not so in shape, there's a part of me that's like, he probably, if he gets attacked or his family gets attacked, it's going to be a bit more of a struggle for him.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah.
Speaking of, can I mention this real quick?
Yeah. Bernie's looking at the camera like he's really on. Like, close your mouth, dog. Nobody wants to see you yawn.
But another thing about being in shape, I saw this surveillance footage of what?
He's scratching his face with his front paw. It was almost like he was like embarrassed about what you're gonna say. It's like, no, don't talk about that.
But speaking of like just being in shape in general, I saw this like video on the internet about like this surveillance footage of this lady who was clearly out of shape. Didn't look like she really took care of herself. And all of a sudden, and this is like a stroller, like they must have been going on a walk around the area, and they were in the park. They were in this like parking lot. Um, and she was trying to get the car open so she could put the the child in the car, and the stroller starts rolling away, and it starts rolling towards the end of the parking lot where it goes into oncoming traffic. And she noticed that that was happening, and she tried to go after it, and she started running, and she fell, and then she tried to get up, and she fell back down.
I saw that.
Yeah, and she's like, she couldn't like, she wasn't like physically healthy enough to even like run after the stroller. Someone actually had to go stop the stroller for her because she couldn't get up very fast on her own. She couldn't run very well. She clearly like she just fell as soon as she took the first two steps.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, like if I mean that's just something to have in mind like whenever you're trying to stay in shape, even with like young children, even with like good reflexes.
I know.
So
I kind of worry about that myself right now because I can't really run yet.
yeah,
I can't really I can't like I'm not made for speed right now
well,
because I'm still.
it's not like you're pushing a stroller.
I'm not, but like, I mean, dude, there's a part of me. It's like, man, like if something goes down, like I would really have to rely like on my hands, right?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be able to, like I would really have. I've thought about that a few times. I'm like, man, if some shit goes down, like I'm gonna have to like really figure out how to fight with one leg and two arms versus all four, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, well, here's what I'll tell you. Just as you navigate life and as you navigate, you're gonna find out more and more who Ethan Hagner is. And the thing that I'll kind of warn you about is that you're gonna see Ethan Hagner do some things, and you're gonna feel like crap about it, depending on some decisions you make. Like you're gonna be like, I'm not kidding. There are gonna be some days you wake up and you're like, man, I need a whole new identity after last night. Like but I encourage you to look at things like that and take them as ways to understand who you're not. Like, so like if you wake up, like, let's just say you go out, you get hammered drunk, you say really horrible, inappropriate things, to the wrong person, you get fired from your job. I've seen that happen. And to the nicest people on the planet too.
Yeah.
Like they just, and then they wake up the next morning like, oh my God, like what the hell just happened? My life just came to an end. While that's a mistake and while that's horrible, also know that it's like, okay, well, I know I'm not that person.
Yeah.
Like I might have had a bad moment, but that's not who I am. That's not who I'm going to be moving forward. And then there are other things like where you really, really embrace, like, I'm a beloved child of God. So you know what, I'm going to take that and I'm going to run with it. No matter where I am, or if somebody asks who I am, like, I'm a beloved child of God. Like I'm Ethan, Mason, Lawson, and Colton's dad, right? I am Jessica's husband. Like that's part of who I am, right? So like you'll really start to latch onto these things of who you are, and you'll also have experiences of who you're not.
Yeah.
And you have to, the one thing that you have to get in front of is like knowing like mistakes happen, but if they happen once, they're a mistake and that's not who you are. If they happen twice, it's more like, you might want to take a good look at that because it might become a really bad habit.
Yeah.
You might want to address like who you are at the core, right? So those are just some things to navigate as you get a little older.
Yeah.
But we have one more show to do before the end of September, believe it or not. We have 5 Wednesdays in September. So yeah, one more to go. Yeah. Goody. So next week we're going to be talking about some really cool things. We're going to close out, the man that I'm becoming. So like for all you guys out there who are raising young men, or you're trying to teach these lessons, we're going to wrap this up in a bow next week. So Ethan, thanks for joining me today. This was so much fun.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Yeah.
I really enjoy these.
Yeah, I do too. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, if you go to thedadedge.com / let me make sure we have this right. We're going to go to / 1380 for this show. We'll have a link in the first first form in there for you, as well as a breakdown of everything that we talked about today. Again, go to thedadedge.com / 1380 for this podcast. You want to tell these guys to go out and live legendary? You want me?
Yeah, sure. Go out, live legendary.
That sounded very surferish. Go out, bro. Live legendary. Ride the high tide.
Go out.
Yeah.
Go out, live legendary.
Go out, live legendary. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yeah. All right, guys. Go out, live legendary. Take care.